I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That is a good. That's so tasteful too. Oh my god.
Hello guys,
Hello everyone.
I am Waldemar
And I'm Weronika.
and welcome on our channel again. Today we are watching a compilation of Ronald Reagan's one-liners.
Yep.
Weronika found this video.
Yeah, just in the wild. It was not recommended. It was not suggested to me by YouTube. I got deep into the YouTube search and...
But have
There
you
it
ever
came up.
seen some of his jokes?
No.
Never?
No, never.
Oh, I've seen some, so I know what can I expect from this video. I've seen a joke of his about the dogs, the Soviet Union dogs, Polish dog, and the American dog.
Maybe it's gonna feature here.
I've seen a joke about from his debate with the other candidate. I don't remember his name, but about the age. I've seen a joke about. By the way, I think even yesterday, I've seen his joke about cats.
That is funny.
Republican cats and Democratic cats. It was a nice one. Yeah, so
No, I've seen none. I mean, unless I don't remember, and then when we see it, I will remember that I've seen it somewhere. It's possible, but nothing comes to mind.
yeah, as a Polish man, always to Ronald Reagan, big respect for ending the communism. No, it was not just him alone, but he did a pretty good job. So I know he might be a little bit of controversial figure, as all politicians, but in Europe and especially in the post-communist countries, he is regarded well, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. We have street names, street that are named from his name, monuments. So yeah, up till today, he is remembered pretty well. And I will stop my sharing my political views.
But you weren't sharing your political views. You were just sharing the situation in Poland. It's as flat as it can be.
No, but I wanted to add more
Okay, then let's watch the funny video instead.
about him rolling in a grave right now, probably. But I won't, because a lot of people got offended when I was sharing my views. So I won't say how I think that the Republican Party nowadays should be ashamed of themselves, judging what they represented back in the 80s, and their approach to Russia back then and their approach to Russia today would make Ronald Reagan doing backflips if he would heard about what is happening right now. So I won't say any of those things, because I know that some of you will be, how dare you share your political views on this channel. I came here to laugh, not to feel. So I won't. Today it's a day for a funny video, Ronald Reagan one-liners. So, you ready?
I'm less now than I was before, but yes, I am. Let's go.
March 30th, 1981.
Mr. President!
John Hinckley Jr. fires 6 shots at President
That's the one
Ronald
I know.
Reagan. A bullet lodges an inch away from his heart. Reagan is rushed into the operating room and tells his doctors, "I hope you're all Republicans."
Presenting to you the President of the United States.
Our 40th president survived, of course. And besides his toughness, the shooting showed the American people that the great communicator also had quite a sense of humor.
Letter came from Peter Sweeney. He's in the 2nd grade in the Riverside School in Rockville Center. And he said, "I hope you get well quick, or you might have to make a speech in your pajamas."
Throughout his political career, Reagan used humor to win friends,
That's so cool.
influence voters,
You already are the oldest president
Oh, yeah,
in
that's what I
history,
know.
and some of your
and
staff-
slay the opposition. No one knew that better than Democratic challenger
They didn't say
Walter
upset.
Mondale.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That is a good. That's so tasteful too. Oh my god.
But you know, that's the difference between candidates. Why couldn't Biden say the same? Because Biden was like, huh?
I scored more goals than you. Not goals, holes in golf.
Yeah, pars, I think you say.
Yeah, whatever that is. I don't know. I did not learn.
Biden was like, age? Yeah. But Reagan was younger than both of them right now, I think. Because at this moment he was the oldest candidate to the office of the president. But I think he was like in his early 70s.
Yeah, so
And
that's a
Biden
right
now
page
was
anyway.
Biden now was over 80 and Trump is reaching 80 right now.
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
more like they were competing to be the Pope than the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what Reagan did before he was
No.
politician? He was an actor.
He was.
Yeah, and pretty.
Oh, that helps with public speaking, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people said, that this experience of being an actor helped him to
present himself.
present
well,
himself
yeah.
and also to went into a role, because he kind of like
He played the role of the
he-
president.
not the role of president, but he knew what was expected
Mhm.
of him being the president in those stage of the Cold War.
Hmm.
So he took this role of the leader of the free world, being tough on Russians, and he played this role well for 8 years, I think.
You wanted law and order in this town. You've got it.
That's it.
A former Hollywood actor and spokesman for General Electric, Reagan knew how to make his humor seem off the cuff, except that it wasn't.
Mike Devers, in his book, said that I had a short attention span. Well, I was going to reply to that, but what the hell, let's move on to something else.
You know, you could talk to any number of President Reagan's speechwriters over the years, and when they might hand him a speech, sometimes the speeches would come back with a quote or an expression or a joke that they hadn't seen before.
Turns out the Gipper had a secret comedic weapon, says John Highbush, executive director of the Reagan Library. So all of this is the contents of his desk, the last desk he used.
2 boxes filled with the last objects sitting inside President Reagan's working desk.
Cool. All right, well, listen, I want to see this stuff. Buried inside one of these boxes, a stack of index cards.
The president's famous one-liners, his best jokes, written on both sides. You know,
They couldn't find a better box for that? Like, it's the president of the United States, for
Right?
God's sake, right?
At least like a plastic one with a lid or something, and not a
Yeah.
cardboard box that when you spill something on it, everything is gone.
Yeah, and they are keeping paper in that, so...
Yeah, and like, why is this not laminated?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't care that much. Clearly.
this is the humor of Ronald Reagan in 3 by
Why
5.
is he touching it with his
This one
fingers?
is titled One-Liners. Adolescence is the time when children suddenly feel responsible for answering the phone. It's pretty good. It's funny. As unassuming as these look, they were political dynamite, a war chest of jokes. Many he wrote himself, others he borrowed.
Someone has once said that actually, as long as there are final exams, there will be prayer in schools.
I can remember when a hot story broke and the reporters would run in yelling, "Stop the chisels."
We showed some of the jokes to comedian Drew Carey. Jokes about Congress,
I've wondered at times what the 10 Commandments would have looked like if Moses had run them through the U.S. Congress.
about the Soviet Union,
What are the 4 things wrong with Soviet agriculture? Spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
and about himself.
Just to show you, this is the best one.
Just to show you how youthful I am, I intend to campaign in all 13 states.
He was a guy who wasn't afraid.
That's a
And
good
like,
one.
and the distance to himself as well. I think that's something that a lot of political figures nowadays really lack because they feel like they can't afford that because they have to be taken so super seriously.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from history, I think he won both elections by landslide. Like it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Both his candidates, he would just.
Afraid to make fun of himself, which was great. You know, like whatever you think the elephant in the room is, that's the thing you should be able to talk about and joke about. And I do the same thing. The first thing I do is I make a joke about the way I look.
And that kind of inoculates yourself.
Totally.
When I go in for a physical now, they no longer ask me how old I am. They just carbon date me.
Reagan's sunny disposition, his ability to joke about pretty much anything,
Gorbachev?
long predated his career in politics, says his daughter, Patty Davis. She says it was a lifelong coping mechanism.
I think that everything about my father goes back to the fact of him being the child of an alcoholic. He protected himself against the unpredictability of his home by developing this sort of coating of humor over everything. I don't want to feel the pain here. I don't want to feel the unpredictability here.
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past, and you have blamed the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat.
But does any of the...
At home, Davis also saw another side of her father's humor.
The reason that we made it a masked dance was
impersonating the distinctive, high-pitched voice of writer Truman Capote.
idea of the
He looks like. Do you remember from Sherlock from the fourth season? There was this guy
Yes, he does look like that.
that ran the hospital.
I forgot what his name was.
I don't remember. But I mean, the character or the actor?
The character.
I don't remember.
But I know which one you mean, yeah. But he looks like that. There's this movie, I think it's called In Cold Blood, like his book as well. But there's an actor who plays him there. I need to check who he is because he looks exactly the same.
But who plays who?
Truman Capote.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, yeah. He knows everything, guys. But they look exactly the same, right? It's a really well role placement.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
domino black and white idea, but
So I'm trying to imagine Ronald Reagan imitating Truman Capote.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing it as a put down, but to me, because I was so idealistic, you know, I thought, oh, this could be, you know, it's like he's putting down, you know, a gay man or something. Well, he really wasn't. He just thought it was funny.
Oh, and there's one more Reagan family joke. After that assassination attempt, the Gipper told Nancy, "Honey, I forgot to duck."
No, that's a good video, but
It was
I
more
regret
narrative
that they didn't include so many of those jokes that I know.
Well, that leaves space for us to watch something else in the future.
No, but because those are just the separate clips, so I think I will
could
I will
combine
show you
them.
now.
Okay.
Because I don't think we will watch another Ronald Reagan compilation. So
While you search, I just wanted to say that I really liked the jokes and his sense of humor, and it's just, I don't know, very tasteful in the politics scene as well. Like, you know how sometimes I say nowadays I have a bit of a trouble that political debate is just stand-up comedy, and it's like a roast, and I don't understand why we're not taking it super seriously. But I think he's got at least from the clips that we've seen, he got the balance pretty right.
yeah,
And to
because
directing
it
the
was
jokes at
tasteful.
yourself is also just, it makes it easier to listen to the speech, I think, because you get engaged, you get a laugh in it as well, but you don't feel like there's nothing else he's saying. I mean, I don't know because we didn't hear more of his speeches, but from what I know, he was not like that.
No, but you will see by the examples of those two jokes. Like one is about the Soviet Union, one is about the Republicans and the Democrats, and the one about the Republicans and the Democrats is just very lighthearted,
Mhm.
and the one about the Soviet Union it had its own purpose, you know, and it was to kind of like ridicule the Soviet Union, but also not in like an offensive way. It was his attitude.
Which one is first?
Which one do you prefer? Cats or dogs?
Dogs, please.
First dogs?
Yes.
Something else I have to interject here, although this is not an occasion for humor. But I've had a kind of a hobby lately of collecting, by way of dissidence, stories that are told behind some of those iron curtains and those iron walls by the people themselves, showing their own cynicism about the system under which they're forced to live. And one recently that I heard had to do with 3 dogs that were having a conversation, an American dog, a Polish dog, and a Russian dog. And the American dog was telling him about how, well, he barks, and then in our country, his master gives him some meat, and the Polish dog said, "What's meat?" And the Russian dog says, "What's bark?"
Yeah.
It's just a nice joke, right?
Yeah.
Nothing
But
offensive.
but it says a lot as well.
But it says a lot, yeah, exactly. He used humor to show how the situation basically looked like in those countries, because it was very true. Like in Poland, we didn't have such repercussions, repressions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had, but we were able to fight with them against the communists.
But the poverty
but
was
it was poverty. Yeah, poverty was a lot. Okay, now the jokes. Now the jokes about the cats.
Okay, I'm ready.
Did you hear the story
He's so happy.
about the kid who was outside the Democratic fundraiser selling kittens? When the people came out from the fundraiser, he was holding up the kittens and he was saying, "Buy a Democrat kitten." Well, a couple of weeks later, the Republicans held a fundraiser in the same place. And when they came out, there was the same kid with the kittens. And he said, "Buy a Republican kitten." And one of the members of the press who'd seen him there 2 weeks before said, "Wait a minute, kid. You were selling these kittens the last time as Democrat kittens. How come the Republican kittens now?" Kid says, "Because now they got their eyes open."
See, I mean, no matter where you stand, you just have to appreciate
Yeah,
that joke,
exactly.
right?
Like even if you're a Democrat,
Yeah.
it's a good joke.
That was a good joke.
It's a very good joke.
Thank you for enriching the video with your knowledge of the internet and politics and everything else, and adding the clips. That was good.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
See
you
you
have
then.
any other similar clips, you can recommend them as always.
You can recommend anything you like.
Yeah, that's true. But especially now, you can recommend clips that are similar, because later it's easier for me to find them, because I know where they were recommended.
I just screenshot everything that's recommended.
Okay. All right. So again, have a nice day. Thank you for watching. And as always, we upload videos every day. So if you want to see them, subscribe to this channel, and every day around this hour.
We upload.
This hour.
Well, this hour that you're watching right now, which could be any hour.
What hour are we uploading videos mostly?
It's for Central European time. It's around 5 or 6, and for EST it would be around 11 or 10.
I never know when, what, and how.
You summed me up pretty okay right now.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.